First thing we've got to do down the bottom is the oil filter. We've got to get that out. Now, because we've got some wiring harnesses here, got to move these out of the way. So you look at it and you think, well, how did they put the car together? Basically, one prong, let me just pull the two prongs forwards, and the harness will move out of the way to give you access to that filter. Now the filter, oil filter, obviously is 25 Newton meters. You want to be doing an oil change when the engine is literally tepid, not hot, because it's an aluminium head, aluminium parts with a plastic bit in it. So that harness there, we just pop it on. To put it back on, clicks into place. Two tabs, you pull one tab towards you, pull the other tab, the harness comes off. Now what I'm going to do in a minute is just tie clip that harness out of the way, because I've got to get a socket in there to get that oil filter out. So it's easy as that. So what I'm going to do is loosen it first, let it drain, then take it out. Well, the harness is off, the filter's there. Now, only use genuine BMW filters. This part number is 1142 7826 799. Genuine filter. Inside the box with a genuine unit, you will get the filter. Now, look at the size of that filter. I mean, superb part, but you think it's got to filter out the engine oil on 6.5 litres of oil. I recommend you change this every 5,000 miles. This car's gone 1,000 miles from new. That's why we're dropping the oil off it now. 1,000 miles, it's going to get an oil change, but this is going to be done every 5. People who leave their oil filters for 15 or 20,000 miles, ridiculous. I mean, look at the size of that filter. Not big. I mean, Range Rovers are twice that big. I know they've got a 5-litre engine, but that's minute. So looking at this filter, I reckon it's a 32. So let me just get a 32 socket on it. Now what I suggest you use as well, when you use a socket, 32 that looks like to me, use one with a ball bearing on the top, because when you click that into there, and that's a Cosman, clicks into there, it won't come out, because what you don't want to be doing is dropping a socket down in there and rescuing it. Let me just have a look. That's a 32. So what we're going to do is crack that off and let it drain. Right, cracking this filter off. This engine's a B58 3-litre BMW engine, straight 6. As I said, it's got 1,000 miles on it. And we're just going to crack this off a minute. And you just want to undo it a little bit and let it drain. We're not going to take it off yet. Right, that's as far as we're going to go. We're going to let that drain for 10 minutes. We're going to take the filter out before we drop the oil to make sure we can get this filter out. Then we're going to drop the engine oil, which is easy to do. I'll show you that in part 2. Now, as you can see, I've got the oil filter out. Very tight fit to pull out. It just slid out. You've got to get that wiring harness away, and it will slide up. But what you've got to make sure is let it drain for 10 minutes, because you do not want oil dripping down your side of your block onto those cables. Otherwise, you'll have oil everywhere. So just be careful. I pulled it out, no oil spillage whatsoever. Just take your time, probably take you 5 minutes. Now what I've got here, I've got the filter here. This is the old filter. It'll be clicked into the bottom of here. Well, that's a tight fit. I'll tell you what, I'm going to look at this filter here a minute, see how tight that is. I'm looking as if it's screwed in the bottom. So what you want to do is compare the filter, that's the top. There's a groove there, which I should imagine I've never known a filter. Oh my God, that was tight. Now, on the Range Rover and Aston Martin, you just pull this out easy. That was absolutely locked in the bottom. Now, in the bottom of there, can you see those clips? I'll just get the torch in there a minute. See those clips? They actually went into that groove. So you're going to really pull that in. Now when you put the new filter in, yeah, that's interesting as well. Can you see on the top there some grooves? Right, I've just got the oil filter out of the housing. Now what I'm looking for in there is any metal glitter particles or metal debris from the engine. The car's got 1,000 miles on from new. That's why I'm doing this filter. Now we watch BMW E39 restorations with Seren from Germany. Now he's just rebuilt an Alfina B7 engine, and he did 1,000 miles in it, and he had glitter particles all into the filter housing. Now this engine that BMW's made, there is no metal particles whatsoever. I've been through every plate on here and there's no metal particles, which is testament to BMW's manufacturing and tolerances. I mean, every one of these is clean. Now what we don't know is, do BMW, when it comes from the factory, run mineral oil, or is it fully synthetic? That's why I'm dropping the oil now and checking the metal. Now with all the filter housings, there's a rubber O-ring you've got to take off. Notice the position it is. It's in that groove there. You take the old one away. Never use the same O-ring. And from BMW, obviously you get new O-rings and a new washer. And that's how it comes from BMW. You get a drain plug washer and you get the new O-ring. The only thing you ever want to put onto here is engine oil, to not put silicone. And let me just, if you put silicone onto rubber, you'll make it expand. So what it's got to do, you've got to put engine oil on it, but do make sure it goes into the bottom groove. So I'm just going to get it round. Don't use anything sharp, use your fingers. See, it's slotted in there. Right, that's fully in all the way around. Get some of this engine oil, smear that. Right, what we've done is made sure that's nice and clean. The O-ring is actually in position. Going to get the filter now. Now you've got the bottom and the top. So where the grooves are, that's the top, that's the bottom, and there's a clip in there. So push it, there, see it's locked in. Job done. So that can now be screwed in. There is a oil O-ring there, which I'm going to put a bit of oil just around that little bit. It's going to get the oil anyway because it's in the bottom of the oil. So that's locked into place. Give it a nice wipe on top. Definitely in. What we're using is BMW Long Life 04 oil. 530 is the grade, but it's genuine BMW. Now what I need to do, because I've got the filter in there, is to pre-soak it. So I'm going to pull that out in a second. Going to drop it into here, because what you don't want to be doing is putting the dry filter in the into the engine, because it will take about a minute or 2 minutes. See how that's going to soak. Going to give this at least 5 minutes to soak in, then take it out, let it drip dry, so to speak, and put it into the filter housing. So push it, there, see it's locked in. Job done. Now I've got the filter down there, you just got to wiggle it, right? It's screwed in by hand, which is there. Do not use the socket until it's bedded in. That's gone in lovely. Now we're not going to do any more. We're going to get the torque wrench now, because it's 25 Newton meters. Go and get the torque wrench, keep the film running. with everything you do, make sure you get a lovely trusted torque wrench. Torque wrench is one of the best things you can ever use. 25, I always do them to 24.5. Right, she's on. That's on nicely. 25, let me just double check 25. 24.5, that's ideal. You're looking at it all the time. Notice the engine is stone cold. One click is all you need. There you go. One click. She's on. That's one oil filter done for a BMW B58. And these have got to be pushed in. Front click, that's in. 25 Newton meters, one filter done. Now this engine is used in the latest Supra. The B58 engine, straight six, can take up to 1,000 horsepower. So the engine's pretty bulletproof. Probably one of the best BMW engines ever made. The engine drain plug is located there. Brand new car, 2022 car, 1,000 miles on it. That's the drain bolt. Now what was interesting, by the way, I always make a little shield so when it drains it don't go backwards, because it's on a little bit of a slope in the workshop. So it's going to drain and go straight into the pan at the bottom. That drain bolt's going to be done to 25 Newton meters. Now I just got a socket on it to undo, which was a 17mm. And can you believe, if I said to you it had 1 Newton meter torque value, it was so loose it was nearly coming off. And this is from BMW. So what I'm saying is, if you buy a new car, check your sump bolt, because that was never ever more than 5 Newton meters. I mean, you could have done it with your hand and it come undone. I'm surprised. BMW, where's the quality control? That's got to be done to 25 Newton meters. You can see I've just literally done it with my hand, and it's, look, it was just finger tight. I don't understand. But also there was a shield on here, a plastic shield, which was missing. So what I'm going to do is take that plug out, let it drain in there. 6.5 litres should come out. We're going to measure it, but that was never ever done to 25 Newton meters. I'm amazed. That's the engine oil coming out. See, it's nice and clear. And that cardboard helps tremendously for it to go into the pan. Right, one sump plug. Now obviously with the sump plug, that's BMW's sump nuts. New washer. Only use BMW washers. I mean, you can buy others, but make sure it's a nice tight fit. This is copper. It's a 17mm socket on it, and we're going to torque it up to 25 Newton meters. Make sure the washer's on. Do it up by hand to start with. 25 Newton meters. One click and it's done. Going to get a rag. I've got no oil dripping anyway, but what you want to do is make sure everything's clean, because when you double check it, new washer, but that has got to be done to 25 Newton meters. Now, as I said, when I took it off the car, brand new car, I literally put my fingers on it and the nut came undone. So that was not done up. There was a washer on it, but somebody has taken this cover off the car. That's a brand new BMW 2022 plate. I was amazed. Finger tight, the bloody drain bolt coming done. So at least that's been done up now. 4 litres plus 2.5 litres has come out the engine. That's with the oil and filter change out of a B58 engine. So the oil is 6.5 litres in total, and that's showing you 2.5 here because we've taken 4 out.